What's up guys, it's Instinct here, and today I'll be showing you guys how to do this organic Plexus effect in Cinema 4D. If you guys want to go ahead and grab this entire project file, it'll be on my Patreon completely for free. And with all that being said guys, let's jump right into the tutorial. So what you guys want to do is you guys want to hold down right here and get a platonic, get a cylinder, which is right here, and then get a sphere. So what we want to do is you want to go ahead and click the sphere, put the segments down to 20, and then put the radius down to 5. What we want to do is go ahead and click the cylinder, put the radius down to 2, and then I'm going to go ahead and hide the platonic so you guys can see the cylinder, and then go ahead and click display and ground shading. And if we go out of our camera here, you can see the geometry. What we want to do is we want to go ahead and put the height segments to 20, and then go ahead and put the rotation segments to 20 as well. So this is our setup. Now what we have to do now is go ahead and clone this to the platonic. So from here, what we want to do is actually turn the platonic on and hold Alt and then click here twice, and it will turn the platonic off, but it is still there. So from here, what we want to do now is go to MoGraph and go to Cloner, and hit Control-C, Control-V to go ahead and duplicate the cloner. Hold Shift and select both cloners, and then go to Object right here, click Mode and click Object, and then for the object, drag the platonic in, and then we want to go ahead and drag our sphere into the cloner. And if we turn our platonic back on, we can see that it is cloned to the edges. And we want to go ahead and put the cylinder in the other cloner, just like this. And then go ahead and click the cloner, and then change the distribution to edge so that it clones on the edges of the platonic. And then if we turn the platonic off, we go ahead and get something like this. Now what we want to do is click the cylinder, and then drag this down below until it gets into the sphere. So something like that will work. I'm using 112 height. So we have this Plexus effect now, or this atom array effect I should say. So what I want to do from here is go ahead and add displacers. So what I'm going to do is hold down right here, grab a displacer, and then go ahead and go to shading, come up here, click noise, go into the noise shader, and then change this to 300%, and then go ahead and drag it into the cylinder. But first we actually have to group these together, so go ahead and hit cloner, hold Shift, click the other cloner, click Alt and G, and then this will make it a group or a null. And then you can go ahead and put the displacer on top of the cylinder just like that, and now you guys can see the effect is working. To get this a little bit smoother, I'm going to go ahead and hold right here and add a subdivision surface, put it into the null, and then put the cloner into the subdivision surface just like this. And if we go to display and go to ground shading again, we can go ahead and see the effect. Now this is a little bit too much, so we're going to go to the displacer, and we're going to go ahead and turn the height down to like 5. And as you guys can see, that looks a little bit better. And what we can do is go to the shading, go here, and then we can go ahead and change the global scale again. Something like 200. Still a little bit too much. Might go up to 400. It's still a little bit too much, so what we can also do is go to the contrast and lower this, and that will help smoothen that out. So I think something like this looks pretty good. And also you guys can go ahead and go to the object and mess around with the height as well. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on 5. This looks pretty good for me. Alright, so now what we want to do is go ahead and select the displacer and hit Control-C, Control-V. And we'll copy the displacer, and we want to go ahead and put it into our other cloner like this onto the sphere. And from here I'm going to go ahead and add a subdivision surface again, and then put the second cloner into the subdivision surface, but they are pointing down just like this. And then it doesn't look like it's doing much, but it is. But I'm going to go ahead and click the displacer, go to shading, and then put this down to like 100% or maybe even 50. As you guys can see, we start to get some results. I'm going to go ahead and click the subdivision surface and change it for 3 as well for the veer, so we can see what it looks like. And as you guys can see, we have some little like areas popping out here. So to simply fix that, what we want to do is go to our cylinder and then go ahead and decrease the height a little bit more until we get it not sticking out, just like that. So I'm going to go back into the sphere one and just go ahead and mess with this. I think I want this a little bit lower. I'll do 50%. Something like that looks pretty nice. But I'm going to go ahead and lower the contrast, something like that. And we can even lower the height as well. Just at like maybe 3. Something like that, maybe 4. Yeah. Just like that, so it's kind of like a little glob. The last step to do is to duplicate this entire thing. Just like this. Control-C, Control-V. And actually go ahead and open up the subdivision surface and then drag the cloners out. And then go ahead and just make sure they're completely out like this, and delete the subdivision surfaces. And I'm going to name this backup, or BAK for short. And what we want to do from here is go ahead and select both these cloners. Just select one, hold shift to select the other, then right click, and then do connect objects. And then drag this out of the null. So then we have everything in one polygon object right here. And then what we can do is hide the backup by clicking Alt and then double clicking this. So if you hold Alt and then click twice, it'll turn red and hide that. And from here, what we want to do is go ahead and come up here, grab an atom array, just like this, and put the cloner into the atom array. And go ahead and click the atom array and put this down to 0.2 or 0.3. I'm going to do 0.2. That looks pretty good. So from here, what we want to do is go ahead and add a displacer. You guys can copy the displacer from before, or you guys can make a new one. I'm going to go ahead and make a new one, just so we get a different type of displacement. And then just go ahead and drag it in, like so. Go to shading, click this arrow once more, noise, and then go ahead and mess around with this. I'm going to do like something like maybe 500%, maybe like 300%. That, and then just go ahead and click the object and then turn the height down to like 2. So yeah, this is looking a little bit better, but I still want to mess around with this, maybe just down to 200%. Yeah, something like that looks a little bit better. And yeah, so the last thing to do is just simply add a subdivision surface, and this is optional if you guys would want. You guys do not have to do this, but go ahead and just pop it in there. And this is going to slow down your computer quite a bit. That's why I say this is optional, because it might slow down your computer a bunch, and it might even crash as well. So if you guys want to, you guys do not have to do this. And it doesn't really make that huge of a difference. But if you want the atom array a little bit smoother, you guys can do that. But yeah, that's basically it for this tutorial. If you guys want a tutorial on how to do the lighting, I'll make a tutorial on that, although it will be in Blender since I did make the lighting in Blender. So yeah, that's basically it for this tutorial, guys. If you guys like this tutorial, please make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace.